the ayah that I wanted to share with you in this talk, I have 8 minutes left. I think I'll stick to it. I'll finish on time, inshallah. The ayah is actually one that expects something very, very high. It expects one of the highest expectations in the entire Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, "Inna Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum wa amwalahum bi anna lahumul jannah." No doubt about it, Allah has already purchased from the believers. In fact, Allah is the one who's purchased from the believers their monies and their own lives, their own selves, in exchange for Jannah. So the ayah begins with a transaction, a business transaction, if you will, in which Allah has purchased what? You tell me again. What has Allah purchased? Our monies and what else? Our lives. He's purchased our monies and our lives. And what have we received by selling those two things to Him? What have we acquired? Jannah. This is the exchange Allah talks about in this ayah. So now, for some people who are at the highest level, you know what that ayah means? That means they're going to go into the battlefield. The Sahabi is going to go into the battlefield. He's going to spend all of his money and he's going to go into the battlefield and die on the battlefield. يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَيَقْتُلُونَ وَيُقْتَلُونَ. Immediately, he just goes in and that's it. That's the highest level of that purchase. But let me ask you something. Is every single Muslim going to go into a battlefield? No. But has every single Muslim sold himself and his money in exchange for Jannah? Yes. It's true. What is the ayah teaching us? That the highest expectation of this purchase, the ultimate sale, is when the Sahabi is in the battlefield. But are there lesser purchases than that too? Yes. Because not everybody's going to be in the battlefield. There's going to be a mother who will never see a battlefield, but has Allah purchased her life and her wealth and her, her nafs in exchange for Jannah too? Yes, He has. Is there a scholar? Has Allah purchased his life and his wealth and his life in exchange for Jannah? Yes. So what does it mean for them? And what does it mean for someone who just became Muslim? And what does it mean for someone who's been trying to do Islamic work? What does it mean for a mother who's trying to raise a family? This ayah means different, this expression means different things to different people. And you have to understand what it means to you. What does it mean to you? And I won't talk to you about what it means to you, but I will talk to you about just the idea of sales though. This is what I'd use my last 6 minutes for. Just the idea of sales and buying and selling and trading. You know, human beings, by nature, we love immediate transactions, what the Quran calls tijaratan hadira. Right? Immediate transaction. In other words, I pay for something now, and I get it when? Now. The only time we like to delay a transaction is when we say, I want the product now. I want the big screen TV now, but I'll pay you over 6 months. In other words, we like to pay over time, but receive when? Immediately. Otherwise, if we pay now, when do you expect? You expect now too, right? So human beings like to pay late, but receive immediately. That's our nature. Everybody clear about that? In this ayah, Allah says, you give me money, you give me your life, and I will give you, what is Allah giving you? He's giving you Jannah. We like to receive immediately or later? We like to receive immediately. Is Jannah coming immediately or later? Jannah is coming later. And when do you have to make the payments to Allah? Now. And you have to make them one time or you have to keep making them? You have to keep making those payments with your time, with the way you live, with the way you dress, with the way you talk, with the things you want to do but you can't do because they're haram, with the money that you can't earn because it's not the permissible way of earning money, the money you want to spend but it's not the right way to spend that kind of money. And you're constantly holding yourself back because you are in a transaction with Allah, and every time you hold yourself back, you have to remind yourself, well, I'm doing this in exchange for what? Jannah. But human nature is, if you're paying a price to earn something, you want to see it. You want to see it. Even if you do 40 hours of work at a job, at least 2 weeks later, you're going to see a paycheck. You're going to see something. But when Allah buys us for Jannah, do we see Jannah? No. All we get is a verbal confirmation from Allah. I'll give it to you, trust me. That's all we get. We got nothing else. Okay, I'll describe it to you too. It's got trees, and it's got rivers, and it's got lots of fruits. And you can get married and stuff, and he's got lots of descriptions of Jannah. But do we have a brochure, a catalog, a picture, maybe a video, a short trailer? Give me a trailer for Jannah. I don't want the whole movie, just give me like 30-second trailer so I know what's coming. Nothing. All you get is Allah's word. Now let's stop here for a second and take a step back. I'm going to pretend to be a sleazy salesman. I come to you and say, hey, I got this property, prime real estate location in Long Island. It's like 5 acres. It's a mansion. It's amazing. I want to sell it to you for $5,000. It's worth $50 million, but I want to sell it to you for $5,000. You get really excited. First of all, do you believe that transaction or no? I was like, it's sleazy scam artist. What are you talking about? Don't waste my time. No. Listen. Trust me. Pay me the $5,000 now, and in about 20 years, I'll tell you where it is. This deal is only open right now. If you take it right now, I will give it to you. The mansion is yours, but mansion is yours when? After 20 years. But you have to pay me $5,000 when? Right now. This is similar to the sale Allah is offering us for Jannah. When is Allah going to give you Jannah? Allah is telling you He's going to give you Jannah when there is dirt being poured on your face. When you're in the ground. That's when He'll give you Jannah. But when do you pay Him? Right now. And you're like, and He says, trust me. He says, just trust me. Doesn't it take an incredible amount of trust? It does, doesn't it? That's what you mean. That's what we mean when we say believing in the unseen. That's what it means to believe and trust Allah. It's not an easy thing. It's easy to say. It's not easy to do. You see, the disobedience to Allah, shaitan, by the way, the opposite. Shaitan says, listen. I got some amazing dunya luxuries for you, some pleasures for you. You can have them right now. Just tap this. Just click it. Just do it. It's right there. It's so easy. You might get in trouble later, but it ain't right now. You're good. You're fine. At least for the next 20, 30 years, there's not going to be any problems, all right? And He comes to you and offers you immediate reward and no payments. Obviously far more tempting, far more powerful. To take immediate reward and leave off what is going to come so far later. And so many people, because we are impulsive buyers, when a good juicy product comes in front of us, we just put it in the cart. We can't hold ourselves. So shaitan makes us the sale, and most of us do what? We become customers. We become immediate customers. And Allah makes us a promise, but we don't see the product. So what do we say? Maybe Ramadan. We'll see. But even Ramadan doesn't survive. So now when I've presented this transaction to you because I wanted to leave you with what Allah says at the end of this transaction. He says, فَاسْتَبْشِرُوا بِبَيْعِكُمُ الَّذِي بَيَعْتُمْ بِهِ. Appreciate and be congratulated, feel congratulated over the sale you just made. The sale of giving yourself up and your money up in exchange for Jannah. Feel congratulated over that sale. Everyone around you will say you're a fool. You're missing out on life. You could have been doing so much with your youth. Man, you're a good-looking guy. You're a young woman. You could have had anything you wanted, and you're wasting it away with that hijab on your head and that scruffy beard you're trying to grow, and you're trying to go to the masjid and pray and this and that. Man, we could have been having so much fun. You only live once. YOLO. You only live once, apparently to the kafir, yes. And he says, you're such an idiot. You're just wasting your entire college years. You're in the dormitory. You're by yourself. Your parents aren't here. You can hear the boom, boom, boom from down the hall. You could be part of that party, man. They're having the time of their life. I think your lab partner likes you too. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's not even Ramadan yet. And you say, no, I just want Jannah. You're stupid, man. You're stupid. Why can't you get smart? And then you just say, I can't take this pressure anymore. Everybody's telling me I'm dumb, I'm making dumb. Am I really missing out on life? Am I doing this right? And then you open Allah's book and Allah says, congratulations, you made a good sale. The only one to congratulate you in this scenario is not going to be your friends. It's not even going to be your family sometimes. The only one to congratulate you will be Allah. The congratulations will come from nowhere else. Nobody else will think you're making a wise decision. There are so many families, a father who owns like a liquor store decides he's going to get rid of it. And when he gets rid of it, they have to sell the house because he can't make the house payments anymore. So they're going to go from a house to an apartment. And the whole family is going crazy. What are you doing? We need the house. How are we going to live in an apartment? This is the wrong idea. I don't know what's happened to dad. He's gone crazy. But the father knows the only one who's telling him, congratulations, my slave. You've made the right call. The only one who's telling him that is who? It's Allah. It's Allah. When you trust Allah, then let me tell you, people around you will question that trust. And they will make you lose that trust. And that's when you need to hold on to Allah's book. Because when you open that book and you read it to find hope, that's the only way to survive. This is why I started by saying we need an ummah that is directly connected with the word of Allah, the promise of Allah, the promise that never fails, which was the title of this talk. Every one of you needs to hold on to that promise. I see it as part of my mission to try to understand that promise and try to share what that promise is about as best I can. But that's not enough. All of you have to be on your own journey to understanding Allah's book. And not for any other purpose, but to seek Allah's advice and strength of will, of decision, that you can hold on to the right decisions and not back off again, not slip back into the darkness again. Some of you guys that are here, you've done some horrible things this year. But at least you're here now, and at least you heard some of this, and maybe some of this goes into your heart, and you decide from here on out, I will take the promise of Allah seriously. Whatever happened, happened. You know what, it's in the past, but it's not going to determine my future. I tell you, this is the last one, I promise. I'm 3 minutes over my time already. People will give up on you. People will give up on you. Allah never gives up on you. People will give up on you all the time. Parents will give up on you. A spouse will give up on you. Friends will give up on you. But Allah will not give up on you. People will judge you and can condemn you. Like, this guy is bad and that's it. Case closed. Allah will never close His doors off of you. The only one who can close those doors permanently is yourself. Allah doesn't do it. Allah does not do that. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.